Hey friends, hey family. We wish you could be with us in person to celebrate the arrival of our daughter. But given the current circumstances, a few nights ago I wrote a little speech to share with you all the meaning, and now we're going to record it for you. So this is the Journey to Maya Lev, an open letter to our daughter. It's addressed to Maya. It explores the meaning and a little bit of the pregnancy journey and the birth story as well. So here goes. I'm sitting here at 10:30 at night, having just nursed you back to sleep and holding you in my arms. You are just over a week old, and though my eyelids are heavy and tired from 11 somewhat sleepless nights, my soul is happy, and my heart has never felt more full at the miracle of holding you, our daughter, safe and healthy, the newest addition to our beautiful family of 4, where you so belong. So before I join you in the land of sweet dreams and slumber, I will take these next moments to tell you how you got your name, who you are, who you can be if you choose to, and who you are named for, our sweet little one. And though your dear big brother insists that we should call you Green Grapes, your father and I have decided instead to stick with Maya Lev. First we have Maya, water, and a sensation of calmness. My father, your Appa, always reminds our family to not sweat the small stuff and not allow ourselves to get worked up over things of little consequence. The metaphor that he uses has always been this: let it go and let it roll off of you like water over a duck's back. Even just this flowing hand gesture has become shorthand in our family for the imagery of that flowing water. Now, we Oppenheimer women tend to be very strong-willed and feisty, and I hope that I won't get in trouble with my Montreal family for saying this, but I'd say that Abbott Bowl women are just about the same as well. So we know that you have feisty in you, and with this name, we bless you with balance, and to let your fire be tempered with water and with an inner sense of calm and composure that will guide you through your life. I want to mention that though I chose this name before you were born, I waited to meet you to see if it was actually a fit. And in the week and a half that we have been together, I've already seen your shining grace and how you are a calm, sweet, and relaxed baby who is more prone to purr than to cry, who rarely fusses, and who is so very calm yet alert. This brings me to the second layer of your name, Maya, a moment in time. Your name's meaning hints to the time of your birth, to Pesach season, to the miraculous parting of the waters of the Red Sea, Kriyat Yam Suf, to the water, the Maya of the Haggadah, as sung in the Haggadah. And indeed, you timed your arrival particularly well on your official due date, a Yeki through and through despite your prominent Moroccan roots, with my water breaking and your birth waters flowing in the moments just before candlelighting on Seder night, setting us up for a night to remember as I breathe through early labor contractions between Karpas and Yachatz and all that followed. In continuation of the Pesach theme, the name Mayasha is Yiddish. The name Mayasha in Yiddish is a Torah reference to Miriam, to Moshe's sister. And it is so sweet and fitting that you, Moshe Erez's sister, have arrived. And on the first day of Pesach, no less, carrying the name of the bold Jewish sister who saved her brother's life, watching over him as he made his way down the Nile River into Ba'ya's loving arms, a double blessing for your family. Now, of course, Pesach also marks the exodus of the Jewish people from Egypt and the start of their journey to Israel. Your name, too, ties to this land and this earth as you, Maya, have arrived during a year of record rainfall, when the Kinneret, the Sea of Galilee, rose to the highest level it has reached in nearly 2 decades and became almost entirely full. This naturally brings us to the third layer of your name, Maya, a name of blessing and abundance. In Jewish tradition, water is equated with blessing and abundance. The Torah itself is often compared to water, and in the Shema prayer and the text of the Torah, we are taught that water is the reward that we receive from above for the good deeds and honorable behavior of the Jewish people. And perhaps all children are blessings, but some are more hard-fought than others. Maya Lev, we longed for you, and we prayed for you, and we waited for you. Just like your brother, you are what we call a double rainbow baby. Our 6th pregnancy after what has been a true storm, making us all the more aware of what a blessing, a gift, and a miracle you are. And finally, we reach the 4th layer of your name, Maya, a legacy of kindness. You are named after an incredible woman, my maternal grandmother, Shirley May, or according to her Jewish name, Sima Mayasha. So who was my Nana? Born and raised in Portland, Maine, loving wife, dedicated mother of 2, proud grandmother of 5, a deeply believing Jewish woman down to the core of her soul. My Nana was simply family and light and kindness. Nothing was more important to Nana than her family. We often say that my mom is the magic behind Disneyland, tending to all of the details and logistics and preparations behind the scenes that make the magic of our lives out front possible and happen. However, to quote my mom, Nana was the original magic behind Disneyland. Ever patient, ever present, and always showing up without complaint. Even though my Nana and Papa lived 6 hours away, they would make the trip down to New Jersey to see us and visit us every other month, always with a pack of M&Ms in hand for each of us, never missing a birthday or a school play, and hosting us every summer up in Portland for magical vacation adventures to the local boardwalk, the Elks Club, Old Orchard Beach, Storyland, and wherever else we'd get up to. My Nana had a joyful heart and would sing us songs and shake her hands in the air as she danced 1950s style. And she was an abundantly good sport as my papa, her husband, who was a total jokester, would play the same old pranks on her over and over again. And she just went along with it each time, knowing what a laugh it gave us. Like when we would wake up super early in the morning and my papa would put a little bit of his shaving cream on our finger. We would tiptoe downstairs to where my Nana was still asleep and paint her nose with the shaving cream. And she would pretend to be surprised and make such a fuss. And we thought we were so clever and that it was the funniest thing in the world. But more than that, Nana's love extended beyond her family. And her mantra was kindness brings kindness. She always encouraged us to be kind to others, to be kind to our siblings, to make peace in the home, and then from there to make peace outside of the home. It is perhaps the most notable thing about her, her drive toward kindness and compassion. And I bless you, Maya Lev, with that inner sense of kindness to guide your heart, your thoughts, and your actions toward yourself, your family, and all those around you. So this brings me to your middle name, Lev. Lev, our heart. In Hebrew, Lev means heart, and you are already so deeply in our hearts, especially as a community of Olim, as immigrants to this country. Many of us find ourselves speaking Hebrewish, a sort of amalgam of languages from our birth countries that fuse with modern Hebrew to form a little dialect of our own. So there's a part of me that loves that your name works in Hebrewish too, maybe with a touch of Italian flair. Maya Lev, my heart, our heart. Lev, a fighter. From the very beginning of this pregnancy, we knew that you were a fighter. And fight you did, making your way through an insane list of episodes, including first trimester miscarriage scares, us being run over, I kid you not, at full speed by an electric scooter running a red light, a broken toe, a visit to the emergency room and trauma ward after a freak electrocution incident at the same time as your father was out of the country abroad for nearly a month, a tummy burn, and even a CMV scare that loomed over us for essentially the entire pregnancy, with experts planting the most scary thoughts in our mind, thankfully none of which would come to fruition. And of course, just as we entered month 9 and were blessed by those around us with a boring, simple, and uneventful last month of pregnancy, nothing less than a worldwide pandemic erupted, shifting and reshifting our birth and delivery plan as we strategized over how to bring you into the world safe and sound. I repeated over and over again that you deserved a warrior princess name, whatever the Jewish or spiritual equivalent of Zina would be. And though we have warrior women in the Jewish tradition like Yael and Yehudit, neither of those seemed the right name for you. And that's when I first dreamed of the name Lev, short for Livia, lioness, and an allusion to the strong and graceful yet fierce power that you are. Another layer to the meaning of the name Lev was revealed on the night of your birth. Every soul chooses to arrive to this world at a particular time, and you decided that Seder night was your time. Though my water broke just before candle lighting, and though early labor began during the reading of the Haggadah, you apparently had something even more dramatic in mind. So the contractions eased off at about 11 at night, and my body was already feeling tired from a full day of running after your big brother and lightly cleaning the house for Pesach as your Abba cooked and did the heavy lifting. So we decided to turn in and get some rest. This rest was blissful as I curled up and cuddled with your 2.5-year-old big brother Moshe Erez, but it only lasted a few short hours as I was woken at just after 3 a.m. with what felt like a kick to my stomach and the start of super intense contractions that were just 2 minutes apart. After a few hurried phone calls and briefly waking your Abba to let him know that I would be disappearing, we made our way out into the night. But the contractions were already coming so fast and so hard that I needed to simply stop and breathe through them, through the random alleyways of Nachlaot, underneath the light of the full moon, over and over again, until we eventually reached the car. Now, in between each contraction, I would apologize to the family whose window I had spent the previous minute underneath, but thankfully not a soul was in sight, so hopefully I didn't wake anybody that night. Now, of course, reaching the car was just the first step, and there would be many more, as on the night leading up to your birth, the entire country was under a nationwide curfew and lockdown, and we would be repeatedly stopped by police blockades on the way to the birthing center asking why we were out and where we were going. But as I was breathing and reeling and opening in the middle of the night, I looked up and saw the light of the moon, the full moon, the Levana. And I knew then that Lev was not only a reference to your warrior princess nature, but also a testament to the time that you began your journey into this world, marking your entrance by the light of the full moon, and by what your father tells me is the light of the supermoon, the time when the moon appears biggest and is closest to the earth. So coming full circle, this brings us back to your namesake. Despite the serendipity of these meanings, I still spent the first days of your life asking if this was the right name for you. After all, Lev is not often a name given to girls, and I toyed with the idea of trying other middle names, though none of them seemed like a right fit. And then it dawned on me, as I was reflecting more on your namesake and on my Nana's life. My sweet and beautiful Nana was born on November 16th, 1929, as Shirley May Levine, Sima Mayasha Levine, and she left this world on the final day of Pesach. How perfect that you, our beautiful Maya Lev, arrived on the first day of Pesach, starting your life's journey and opening this new chapter for our family, continuing the legacy that my Nana left for us, and carrying her middle and last name proudly as your first and second name, blessed by your heritage, yet with the space to make your identity your own. Our little Maya, our glorious Maya Lev, your father and I bless you with an inner sense of calm, with a kindness that will touch all those around you, with a fighting spirit to weather the challenges of this world, and with the deep inner knowledge that you come from a family and a tradition to be proud of. Since the current coronavirus pandemic prevents us from gathering our family and close friends in person to celebrate your arrival, we have decided to dedicate the funds that we would have spent to Bat Melech in your honor, in hopes that you always find yourself and that all people find themselves in loving, kind, and respectful relationships. Know that you have already made our lives so much better than we could have ever hoped they would be. We bless you to live and to grow leTorah, leChuppah, ulema'asim tovim. We love you so much. Welcome to our family. Oh, and here she is. We hope one day you guys get to meet her soon in person. She has the most beautiful little blue eyes. Making funny faces. Am I disturbing you? Oy, oy, oy. Thank you for listening. Thank you for letting us share this with you. And God willing, Maya Lev, you can see this when you grow up and hear all about your name.